Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have a sequel, guys, because this next gentleman that I have right next to me, number one, has been to the podcast before. Number two, is one of my best friends, if not the best. He's in the number 1 and 2 category right there. We call each other out a lot.
Yeah.
We talk a lot. And we became great friends in the last 3 or 4 years now. Yeah. It's been a couple of years now. Somebody that I really look up to for many different reasons. Not so much for the big real estate investor that he is, but also for the human being that he really is. I've gotten to know Charles at a very personal level. I'm happy to call him my friend. And today I wanted to ask him, what are you guys up to, man?
Man, growing HBHS, trying to figure out why it took us so long to get these steps done. You know, we've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And, in the last...
I remember, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met you, Charles.
Yeah.
I went to your office in San Antonio, and I sat down with you.
Yeah.
And right there on the spot, you told me, said, Ricardo, we've done a lot of things, but I don't feel like I have anything to show for.
Yeah, we're busy doing deals. I mean, we already had a portfolio. What I meant was, like, we felt like we hadn't created legacy.
Yeah.
You know, we felt like, man, we've been around longer than a lot of people, and we were seeing people ascend.
Yeah, and you weren't talking about money. You were talking about something more profound than that.
Something like, who am I? Who are we? We saw a lot of people ascending. We're like, how come we're not doing that? You know, how come we're not letting the people know that what we do?
Right.
And so shortly after that, we started documenting actually a lot of what we do. And I remember you were in our office and you asked us. No, you opened up your books.
Yeah.
You opened up your books, and then we opened up our stuff. And I think it was the first time I shared this with you. I said, we've never had mentors. Remember?
Yes.
And you sat there and you shared some stuff with us. We're like, wow, that's pretty cool stuff. You know, we didn't realize some of that stuff you were sharing with us.
Yeah.
And it kind of opened our eyes to a lot of things, that we were missing out on because we were so closed in. You know, we were just hunkered down doing our thing, and we weren't really communicating with a lot of different groups.
Connecting with other people, exchanging information. I did that for years too. Like I was just running on my own lane. I didn't even know what was going on in the other lanes.
Yeah.
And that cost me a lot of money, not only deal-wise, but financially. When I was going through all my struggles, I had nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And I think if I would have been more plugged in like we are today, and I would have had a Charles to call or a David or, the group of friends that we have now, I think that would have saved me millions of dollars, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times, like for us, we were just so hunkered down. We shared a lot of information, but we were very protective of what we were doing. And I say to everybody today, I mean, if you're not connecting with people, I mean, it's not just all about money, because sometimes you got to talk to people. I know you and I have had conversations late into the evening.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody has to walk you off the ledge, man, because sometimes you're pulling your hair.
Yeah, you are. So, what are you and Michael up today, man? Like, what's HBHS look like today? What's cooking, man? Because you guys are always cooking. That pot is always on.
So, with HBHS, we've done a lot of stuff. We everybody knows that we do credit financing, sub-2s, reverse wholesales, we portfolio. I can go on and on, guys. But a lot of times people think like, man, that's a lot of stuff. But what they don't realize is we've been around for a long time. And it's just not one guy or just not me and Michael. It's a team of people. And so you have to be willing to change. And with us, we embrace that. Sometimes we change stuff around a lot. And our next endeavor now because we feel like we have a really good scope of work. We've been around for a long time, and we know that people know who we are. I believe we have a good brand. Our next endeavor is, you know what? We feel that we're poised to be able to educate people on what we do. And so not only are we running just a RIA, which I call an association in San Antonio, that's becoming very successful. I believe it's the largest RIA in San Antonio now. We run a private community called Alliance, which we do very advanced, we talk about very advanced real estate strategies in there, but we're moving in that direction where we really want to show people what we do. And we want to get so focused and so detailed with people so that when they get involved in a certain type of transaction, they understand it completely. So that's where we're going.
Yeah, I was on the calls that you used to do before the Alliance.
Yeah.
The Midnight Hustle.
The Midnight Hustle, yeah.
And I remember going in one of those calls one night, and you were there. You and Michael, you both were basically segregating deals, like going step by step, everything about the deals.
We were analyzing deals. We were analyzing deals, people's deals, live online, in the middle of the night.
I was blown away because I had never seen that done before on deals that were complex, like the ones you guys get yourself into. And guys, by the way, if you learn how to solve complex problems, that have huge returns.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just figuring out complex problems. It's figuring out how to get there, you know. And I'll share a few little secrets with people in a little while. You know, everyone is always, you know, I'll tell you, Ricardo, a lot of times people ask me, Charles, how do you get started in this business? Like, how do you start? Like, I don't know, it's so much stuff. And what I tell people is, well, everyone says you got to take action, and that's true. That's true. What I tell people is this: I want to compare it to something that I think is very powerful. It's been around for a long time. And I'm going to compare it to the Word. I know for some people they're going to say, Charles, how can you compare business to the Word? I'm going to make it very clear for everybody. If you ever talk to someone who's in the Word, they're going to church, they're in prayer groups, they're surrounded with people who are in the Word. They're studying it, they're living it, they're breathing it every day. And I say to people, if you go a day or two without talking about real estate, talking to someone about real estate, studying real estate, doing real estate, then you're not going to be in real estate. You're just not going to do it. You know, you can't do this part-time. That's with anything, whether it's crypto, NFTs, or whatever it is. If you want to learn this business, I'm not saying go quit your job, guys. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you want to learn this business and you want to learn how to do real estate, whether it's traditional, whether it's credit financing, sub-twos, wholesaling, flipping, there's so many multifamily, splitting dirt, you have to engage. You have to immerse yourself in it, just like people who immerse themselves in the Word. And we all know individuals who are like that. You know, I'm a Christian. I could do better. But I know individuals who know the Bible, man. They understand it. They can tell you about it. And that's how I compare learning this business. If you're not going to immerse yourself in it, it's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute.
Yeah, so this is what I take from what you just said is you cannot do this part-time, but if you have a job, okay, if you guys have a W-2, then you have to put real estate full-time in your head.
Yes.
That's what you mean.
Exactly. You got to stop the Netflix. I'm not saying don't take a day. I go watch a movie once a week with my wife. I'm not saying don't go have a drink. What I'm saying is I don't watch NFL anymore.
Me neither.
I don't watch NBA. I don't watch, man, I'm not.
Don't get me wrong. I'll take you to a game.
Yes.
That I'll
fun.
do. Hey, let's go to a game.
Yeah.
And have fun at the game.
But I don't got time
to follow the whole season.
For that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I got time, especially when you're getting older, guys, like myself. I made a lot of mistakes. We've talked about it.
Yep.
And I'm older now in the game. And for me, I kind of see this as my this is my last run. I might have another run. I don't know. I've lost it all before several times. But man, there is no time like right now. And for the young
Yeah,
guys,
the time is now.
The time is now. If you want to, whatever it is you want to do, for us it's real estate. But you got to immerse yourself in it. And so I say to people, it's very simple. I say to people like this. Okay, what's the easiest thing you can learn? The easiest thing you could learn in real estate is if you become a traditional real estate agent. You take the classes, you become a real estate agent. You can go fall under one of the big companies. They're going to teach you all the rules. And when you feel secure, you can go on your own. But that's traditional real estate. But then you have the other side of the road, which is real estate investing. And the easiest thing there is wholesaling. But what I tell people is this: if you can find a wholesale, you just find a flip. Because if you're going to wholesale it to someone who's going to flip it, then you can flip it yourself. So if you find a wholesale, you find a flip. You find a flip, you find a wholesale. And if you get it a little bit better discount, then you find a hotel, where you're buying them. So now you learn how to do 3 deals. Very simple. And so people say, well, Charles, how do you do creative financing? Creative financing, guys, is not something you find. It's something you create. And the only way I take those deals down is they're functional and they're making money. So if they're making money, my mind's already thinking creative financing. They say, Charles, why do you find subject twos? If there's a mortgage, then I'm thinking subject to. So once you start classifying the different type of strategies and you understand how to work them, then you can do more deals. But what the beauty about this is, Ricardo, and I tell people all the time, you don't have to learn how to do the whole thing. You have to engage with people. Like, for example, like yourself in Houston, maybe, us in San Antonio, or anyone else who is in the word of real estate. If you know that they're in the word of real estate, and I hate to say it that way, but I'm just trying to give everybody an understanding of where I'm coming from, then you can always turn to someone and say, hey, Ricardo, I got this deal. I think it's a good wholesale. Can you help me with it? Because the last thing that anybody wants is really in the word of real estate is a bunch of addresses. Don't get me wrong. We may be passing up a fantastic deal, but we ain't got time for that. You need to contribute. And if you're bringing something to the table, guess what? We're going to bring the other side, and chances are you're going to learn, you're going to make money, and your life's going to change. And that's how I see things.
So it's interesting that you say that because we've actually done deals together.
Yeah.
I've sent you deals and you've sent us deals, and we both made money together. In reality, we could have probably done by ourselves,
Yeah.
but it would have taken longer.
Yeah.
Right? And I can say that I think it was in the year maybe 2020 or 2019.
Yeah.
That's when we started doing deals together.
19, I think it was.
19. I don't remember how much money we made, but it was probably close to 100 grand.
It was a good number.
It was a good number.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, and we haven't done a deal lately. Actually, we got one in Alabama, I think.
Yeah, I think you're doing that one first.
That we need to talk to Ray about it to see if he got the reduction in price.
He did. He got the reduction.
Okay, so yeah, we're pushing it right now.
Yeah.
And the reality is that this is a true story. I rarely talk to Charles about deals, even though we have deals going on.
Yeah, we never talk about deals.
We never talk about the deals.
Yeah.
We just talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
I do talk about deals with Michael.
Yeah.
And now with Ray, because Ray is part of your team.
And it's funny you say that because, I do get involved in the complex deals, and Michael and I, we kind of split the workload. It's just natural. He does all the sub-twos, all the flips, all the portfolio. I do all the credit financing, small multifamily, dirt, and I oversee the complex stuff. And then we have a boiler master, which is Ray. I hardly ever see any of the deals unless there's a problem,
Yeah.
But
I'm kind of like in the same boat now. Most of the deals of my team, they handle it, and they only bring it to me when there's a question about something. Like, I just got an email, for instance, not an email, but a message through our channels that I need to review the 2 last pages of a contract that an agent is sending us because there's something in there that they're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
This is a triplex we're actually selling in Louisiana. And we've had this triplex under contract for over a year and a half.
Sometimes it takes that long.
And it's finally, it's coming to fruition, right? But you guys are well known for being number one problem solvers.
Yeah.
And you've solved very complex challenges on properties.
Yeah.
And number 2 for being deal makers, right?
We try.
I know you do deals.
Yeah.
Because you guys do deals multiple deals. I know you guys got a great a flow of properties. You know, not only on the creative finance side, but also on the wholesale side, and you guys do flips and
flips. Yeah. So, for example, I'm here with you in Florida at this awesome event, the Hero event, and my partner Michael's texting me, and I mean, I think we're at 170. I'm not even there, and it's just from a lot of those deals are from creative deals, and so that's me, Michael and I rather, but then you have the floor, and they're pushing deals, and so it's, you know, we separate everything at HBHS. Everyone's doing certain stuff, but I have to admit, I mean, I'll share with everybody here, you know, it's not always peaches and cream, man.
No.
Sometimes you take it on the chin, and sometimes you'll take it on the chin.
Man,
for
I tell you
months,
what, I got my ass whooped in between November and February.
Yeah. So did we. We got our ass handed to us. Not this time, but the year before. Remember I told you?
This year I got it handed back to me, and I had no revenue whatsoever. I mean, I did have some revenue, but it wasn't significant. You know, I was actually I'm happy I have multiple streams now because it was some of those multiple streams that were keeping the boat going, right? And even I had to ask Sheik one day. I said, he sent me an invoice. I said, Sheik, you're gonna have to wait, dude. I'm getting funded probably next week, so sorry to make you wait. And he's like, okay, I understand. But it got to the point to where, hey, I got no cash right now. I'm pulling from different multiple directions, right?
I can't tell you how many real estate investors, you know, like us, we always buying houses, and you got money coming in, you got money going out. So yeah, it happens, man.
Let me ask you a question, Charles. What do you like the best about what you do?
I think what I like the best is that, you know a little bit about my past. I come from the street, you know.
Yeah.
I know the street very well. And I always knew, you know, I'm moving stuff around. But we make money and it's great, but I think the most important thing to me, and I don't say it's cliche, it's not a cliche what I'm about to say, but I get a lot of satisfaction to being able to help like my people, you know. And what I mean by my people, I mean like those closest to me, like HBHS, you know. And Sheik here, who's behind the camera, started out with us, and now he's running an awesome, you know, videographer, you know, company. And I got a few other guys that have gone on their own, and they're doing fantastic. And when I look at that, I'm just like, man, you know, it makes me proud that I had some type of
influence
on that, you know. And I try real hard to talk to all these guys and just tell them, look, man, let me talk to that guy that's 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm older than them. And all these guys, the majority of them, man, they're really solid, good people, man, and they're real humble, you know, and they'll listen. Sometimes I get after them, and they take the criticism and the advice. And to see some of them really, like, doing well, like, it makes me proud, you know. It does, you know.
Yeah, you like helping people. I know that for a fact.
I
You're a giver.
I like to. Well, you know, because, you know, Ricardo, thank you for saying that. But I grew up in a world of taking.
Yeah.
I grew up in a world that all you're taught is how to hold on to, you know, violence, you know. And so I never believed in the concept of giving. But about 20 years ago, and you know why, I just said, you know what, man, I'm gonna try this out. And the more that I share, the more that I give, the more that I allow myself to just be that guy that, what's your problem? Okay, here, how you fix it. The more comes my way. And it's weird because I never believed in that.
Well, you know, it's I learned that concept. It was a few years ago, but sometimes when you have more month at the end of your money, you don't see how you can give because you need the money.
Yeah.
Right? And actually, I just finished this week a book about giving. This is probably like the third book I read about it. And the more I educate myself on giving, the more I give.
Yeah.
Well, today you donated a house.
Yeah, me and Michael, we bought a house for, I guess, a family in Haiti. So did you.
Yeah, so I did too.
And a lot of people did too. It's humbling, man, it's hard to give up money, when you make it. But sometimes you have to for the greater good, because what it does, like for all you guys that are listening, for example, like all the wonderful people that I've met here today. You've been inviting me to these things for a minute.
Yeah.
The connections, the associations that you make with people who are in that mindset is just, I mean, $5,000? You can't pay for that. How are you going to pay for that? When somebody sees what you're doing, they're doing the same thing, you're in the same wavelength, and you're like, yeah, I understand you. I understand you. And now there's this very strong connection, instead of coming up to somebody and saying, hey, I want to be your friend. That's a whole different other dynamic.
It's a different business card.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I've been telling you, like every time I come to one of these events, Charles, let's go. Well, I gotta talk to Michael, and I get it. I understand you guys have a way that you operate out of, being truthful one to another, and you both made the decisions and all that. But now that you're here, and you've been coming to my events as well, and you guys will always be invited to my events. This is not my event, by the way. We're at the Hero event with Tim Mai and John Jackson and a bunch of other rock stars that
wonderful event.
We just spent 3 days here growing, pretty much.
Some of the biggest guys in the industry.
Yeah. And every time I will go buy my ticket, actually I'm a sponsor here.
Yeah.
I will say, Charles, let's go. And, you're like, well, I got to talk to Michael. I say, man, you don't have to talk to Michael. You just got to drag Michael. That's different.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you came, because now you're going to go back home, and you're probably going to be able to relay the message back to not only Michael, but your team on what's going on out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike has kids, and so it's hard for him to get away for a long time. I'm blessed, man. For any of you guys that are out there, I'm blessed to have a partner like Mike.
Yeah.
He's the most, I don't know. I don't know how this came to be. But I never had to doubt or wonder what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And I make it a point that he doesn't have to do that with me.
And that's where you guys complement each other.
Yeah.
Right? I even told you one time, it's like, man, don't worry about Michael. Like, let Michael run, on what he's running with.
Yeah.
You are the guy that comes here and you absorb these things. Because honestly, Charles, you're a lot bigger than you see yourself. You are. And well, not in that way.
Yeah.
Actually, you're a lot smaller than you were before.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
You lost a lot of weight.
And I worked on it. I appreciate you saying that, but I'm humble about it, man. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but
none of us are, Charles. And that's the thing. Yeah. We're always striving for better, right? But in reality, Charles, when let's say I was a newbie, the brand new guy, okay, and I come in, and I shake your hand. I say, nice to meet you. My name is Ricardo. Charles, what do I do? Like, knowing that you now own a lot of properties, you transact every month a lot of deals, you have an alliance that you are growing with, you're teaching those guys. It's hard for a newbie to connect with that.
You want to know something? Somebody asked me this question the other day, and I forget exactly how they asked me, but I say, oh no, it's Tim Maya, and one of my guys recorded it and they put it online. I was surprised. I actually didn't know he was recording it. And Tim had me on the phone, and before I came here, he said, hey, can you tell me a little bit about how you run HPHS? Do you have interns? I'm like, no, they're not interns. Nobody's an intern at HPHS. Nobody is an employee at HPHS. They're all partners. It doesn't matter to me if somebody showed up yesterday and we brought them on, or if somebody's been in my office for 3 years. They're all partners. I treat them all the same. I give them the same respect. As a matter of fact, we brought on 2 new guys recently, and I always take everybody to the side and I say this to them. And I'm very clear. I said, look, don't waste 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks trying to get to know the system, trying to get to know everybody, feel comfortable. Be you right now. Take a deep breath and be you. You're welcome here. Imagine that you've been here for a year. Because I need you to get there quick. Because I need you to produce quick. Because life will get you, man. That's what people don't understand about this business. You got to immerse yourself, like I was talking about.
Yep.
And life will get you, and life will say, no, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do real estate investing. You're not going to do NFTs. You're not going to do coins. You're not going to, you know why? Because you got to buy Pampers. You got to pay the rent. So I treat everybody the same, and I tell everybody, look, man, sometimes I'm going to say stuff. I ain't got time to, I got to just tell you, this is how it works. Don't take offense to it. I'm just trying to get there. I'm trying to get you there faster. And so I treat them all the same.
I know, and I noticed that from day one. Since I ever met you and Michael, you know, I remember when I went to your office, and I was working on Chic's deal. Actually, it was a factory, like a brick lane factory thing that you guys had on your hands.
We were trying to get that.
Yeah, we were trying to work that deal out. That's how I saw that you treated your team, and honestly, I learned from that, because I was like, you know, I did have a team, but I don't think that's how I treated my team. You know, to me, you know, I was treating my team more of a coming from like, you work for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even though I always liked to JV with them, I didn't really treat it that way.
It's a different model, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in every situation, and it's broken down in our office a few times. But, you know, the way Mike and I think about this is like this. We're never afraid to teach someone. It doesn't matter if they ascend. If we're bringing one part of the equation and they're bringing the other part of the equation, and we make money together, and at some point they're like, hey, it's my time. There's two sides to this coin. One sounds kind of weird or mean, and the other sounds like, okay, love. One, I'm always happy to see my people rise up.
Yeah.
And the other part is the business side of me, the one that's super focused. I'm never afraid to lose my best guy, because if I'm afraid to lose my best guy, that means I don't have a company.
Yes.
So you can't be afraid. Michael said it best. You know what? My partner Michael, I love that guy, man. I love Michael. You know, we were asked a question one time, and it was the same thing. It said, Charles, Mike, aren't you guys afraid to teach your people? I mean, you're always teaching them stuff. Aren't you guys afraid to teach? And Michael responded, and it was so natural what he said. He said, we're never afraid to teach anyone what we do. The question is, should you be afraid if you don't teach them and they stay? And I was like, man, that's us. And that's why, you know, I don't know. I mean, we got some good guys. We're never afraid, man. And you should want your people to be at their best.
I come from the same principle.
Yeah.
I even in other businesses that I'm a part of now, I wish for my competitors' success, like I never did before. I'll give you an example. I have a texting platform, Deirante. I just did a podcast with a guy that has the same thing, and we promoted his business through my channel. You follow me?
Yeah.
So, you know, some people may say, well, you're crazy. That's your space. I'll say, yeah, but people connect with different people all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, somebody might want to hire me as a mentor, but at the end of the day, if they connect with you better, they might go with you because you offer something different than I offer. Or even if we both got the same offer, maybe they like you because you got a hat and I don't. You know what I'm saying?
You know, this conversation we're having it could go on for hours, I know.
Yeah.
But like exactly what you said right now. For example, sometimes people call and they're like, Charles, you know, can you mentor me? And I don't take on too many mentees. I'm very, very selective.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, very selective. And what I always have them do is I have them go watch videos that I've already made. They're online. Mm-hmm. And they're very detailed videos. And I said, I want you to watch these videos, and I want you to watch these other videos. And for two reasons. One, because I need them to see who I am, how I teach. Because they may not like how I teach, or they may not like They may not, like, man, I don't understand none of this stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to learn wholesaling. But the other reason is because I ask them questions about it, and they don't answer. Like, if they didn't, I know they didn't watch the video.
They didn't do their homework.
I won't take them on I won't mentor them.
Yeah, that's a good way to screen them out.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't want the money. We all want money. It's just that what we do, to me, is too important just to take $20,000 from somebody or $15,000 from another person if we know that they're not going to do it. You know, you're just taking, at that point, you're taking advantage of people.
It's kind of funny because I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name. He told me that, you know, he does mentorship, and he has a local model.
Yeah.
And he's had people pay him $50,000 for mentorship and then never show up. And then he says, I run into the guy at the supermarket.
Yeah.
And of course, I got hundreds of students, so I don't recognize them. But the guy recognized me.
Yeah.
He approached me and said, Mr. So-and-so, I apologize. I know I haven't been attending your trainings. And he was like, who is this guy? And that was one of the guys that paid him 50 grand.
Yeah.
And they said, don't worry about it. You can get started whenever you're ready. Just show up.
Just show up, man. And segueing back, exactly. I mean, like I said, this conversation can go on for hours. But I'll key on this again. Guys, it goes back to just showing up, man, taking action, immersing yourself. How do I start? You start by getting involved. If you do anything, get involved. Go meet a Ricardo. You know, come meet me. Come meet anyone that's in your area that's doing deals.
I'll tell you how I got started, Charles. I got started by learning and taking action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned some more, and then I took some more action. And then I learned some more, and then I took some more action.
Yeah.
So I didn't wait until I had it all figured out to get started. If I would have done that, I would probably be waiting right now.
And that happens to a lot of people. You know, I think I told you the story. I'll tell you a story about this guy. This is about action. Action. You got to immerse yourself in this, guys. We have this guy that buys 3 or 4 houses from us a month. He's from El Salvador. And I met him. He called us about his property. Went to see him, and I'm always talking to people about real estate. And I was really, you know, I was amazed by him because he doesn't speak English. Yet he owned a $450,000 home in San Antonio. That's like a big home in San Antonio.
That's a big home, yeah. In San Antonio or even in Houston. Although in Houston today they're more expensive.
But this is nice.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you where it's at. Over there, the Vance Jackson,
yeah.
Desval area.
Yeah,
you know, that's nice.
That's a nice area, yeah.
And he owned it, and he had remodeled it. It was beautiful. And he had 2 other rentals he wanted to sell. And I was like, you're from El Salvador? You don't speak no English. He had 3rd grade education. 3rd grade education. He had been here washing dishes for 6 years, 7 years. Then he started working as a roofer. He learned the trade. He hired a few guys, started doing roofing work for some of the builders. And now he has several crews, and he buys houses. And so we started not mentoring him, but teaching him stuff, right?
Right.
And it amazes me that people who take action, no matter where they're from, they will see results.
Yes.
They will see results. And sometimes you got to take imperfect action and stop saying, well, I don't know. Okay, you're watching this podcast, you know, Ricardo. I'm sure if somebody messages you about a deal, you're going to be like, okay, what is it?
Let's do it. Actually, this is what I do today. When you send me a deal, I said, go ahead and go to jvtdo.com and put all the details in it.
It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as just stop saying, how do you get started? I don't know. Find a way, man. If a guy from El Salvador with a 3rd grade education cannot speak any English, can own, you know, $2 million worth of property.
If not more.
If not, anybody can do it, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Well, guys, I want to thank you, Charles, for jumping into with me today, and this was very impromptu. We just set up a studio here at the hotel in where we are at the Hero event in
Amelia Island,
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Mai and John Jackson and a bunch of other rock stars that came this weekend, and we had a great time. We learned a lot. I learned a lot, man.
Chris Crone was here.
Yeah.
Ron LeGrand,
Robert Allen.
I mean,
this was a weekend packed with
just
big players,
big
up and coming people, brand new people that are
Lou
getting
Brown.
into this. Lou Brown, which I had the pleasure of interviewing a couple of days ago, and you guys got to make sure you get in these events, okay? My next event is Attend Growth, June 24th, 25th, and 26th, 2022. Attendgrowth.com. Uncle Charles is going to be there with us, and Michael as well. They're my special guest. Come say hi to them. If you want them to show you the ropes, the way they do business, these guys are open books. They'll embrace you. They'll invite you to be part of their community. I am part of the HBHS. Actually, when I go to HBHS in San Antonio, Charles, I feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
I'm home. I'm like, this is my home. Like, these are my friends.
Well, I do want to qualify one thing.
Yes.
I tell everybody, because we can't take everybody's calls anymore.
No.
So if you want to know what we do, I tell people to join our group Alliance.
Yeah, the Alliance.
And that's where we go in there. We really focus on talking to people.
No, that's the right way to do it, because sometimes we tend to, because we want to help everybody, we invest our time in the wrong people, unfortunately.
Exactly, it happens.
And time is the most precious thing we have.
We don't have that much more.
We don't have. Well, we do. We're gonna live another.
We're not young anymore, man.
We're gonna live another 50 years, Charles, probably. And we'll probably be doing real estate at that time.
Yeah. If our wives let us.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
yeah.
You'll probably be teaching. You'll be related to real estate one way or another, right? So, I want to invite you to Attend Growth again, guys. June 24th, 25th, and 26th. Make sure you get your tickets today. They're out on sale already. Come say hi to Charles. Come say hi to Michael. Come say hi to the rest of the HBHS team that will be there. Come say hi to me.
Let me plug this thing, man. I'm sorry, man. I gotta tell them, guys. I've been to this, and if you don't come to Ricardo's event to meet the individuals that are in there they're doing amazing stuff from all parts of the United States. You're missing out, man.
Man, we're gonna have an amazing lineup. Most of them are new guys that haven't been to our event before.
Yeah.
We'll have some of the repeats, like you've been to every single one of my events. I appreciate you for that. And we're gonna have also Corey and David and a bunch of other. It's a gathering for us. It's kind of like a great time to get together again, have a great time, share real estate, share best practices, learn from one another. I treat it as a mastermind. We're gonna have a great time, guys. Don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Charles.